They say I'm disturbed.
From city to city, an incredible hysterical panic spread.
I think we're getting into a weird area here.
Will you tell these fools I'm not crazy?
There's hysteria.
You can't handle the truth.
Brain is gone.
This is Hysteria 51.
They're here.
The truth is out there.
It's alive.
But you won't find it here.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
All right, Brent, another week, another stop in our world tour in Cafeteria 51.
Yeah, this one's not as far from us. If you listened last week, you already know what we're talking about. We're going to the Great White North. Not that far from Chicago. And everyone knows that like 99% of all the people, actually literally like 90% of all the people in Canada live like right by the border. So, yeah.
Yeah, not far. Yeah, exactly right.
Comes in a bag.
I've been,
so you know it's good
I
food.
tell you what, I go to Canada every time I go to Detroit. Just hop that little bridge over to Windsor, do a little gambling.
Oh.
Always a good time.
Gambling as in you bring back pharmaceuticals and hoping you don't get stopped at the border, that kind of gambling?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Daddy needs a new
So
pair
far,
of
so
kidneys.
good. If any border agents listen to this podcast, we're just kidding.
He's only serious. Anyway.
So, right. So Brent, you picked this week's food selection.
Yeah, it's something that I'd had before. We have friends that live in Canada, and they came. We had a party a couple of years ago, and they brought these. They were kind of a hit at our party. And then, interestingly enough, they sent us for Christmas like a little care pack, and they sent some of these. I just get it out of the way. They're ketchup chips. And you and I were talking, and you're like, my wife has been eating ketchup chips. She loves them. And here's one of her favorite brand. And you sent me a picture, and I'm like, we literally have a bag of those in the cupboard right now. So not only are we eating Canadian ketchup chips, we're eating Old Dutch brand ketchup chips.
Yes.
Now I've had Lay's. I've had lots of different.
So I'd only had the Old Dutch. So I bought a couple other chips to try too, so I could compare. First, I'm gonna start with the Old Dutch as the baseline, and then I bought the Lay's.
Okay, well let's do an Old Dutch. You got an Old Dutch in hand. Now, when you look at these, they look like they're red. I mean, they have a lot of red. Looks almost like a pizzeria, just a little less red. But if you remember those.
Oh yeah, very red.
All right, so here we go. Very good. You have to like ketchup. These have, compared to the
And you have to like
Lay's,
vinegar.
You'll find the flavor on these is way more prominent.
You have to like vinegar too. It's not. It's not subtle.
There is a lot of vinegar in ketchup. I think it gets overpowered sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And this just kind of, both of those flavors are prominent.
Yeah, the vinegar. I guess what I'm saying is the vinegar seems to stand out more in the chip than it does in like dipping a fry in
Old
ketchup.
Dutch is my favorite of the ketchup chips that I've had.
They're really good. They're really good. I'm going to try
They're
Lay's.
very rich, if that might not be the right word. But yeah, try the Lay's. I'm drinking right in the mic. I apologize.
Wow, those are not near as good.
No, and if it's the only thing you've had, they're good. You know what I mean?
They're fine, but
the Old Dutch
so they
is
taste,
like, whoa,
they taste faker, if that's possible. We're already eating a fake flavor, but they taste faker.
Yeah, like the
also,
Old Dutch almost tastes like you dipped a chip in ketchup. Like that.
Lay's also have a beguiling sweetness I'm not loving.
Well, that also, the Old Dutch tastes like Heinz to me, whereas the Lay's almost tastes like it's got like Hunt's or something, like a sweeter ketchup on it.
That's a good point. It is kind of like they use two different ketchups.
Yeah.
I prefer Brooks ketchup.
The Brooks of the Brothers, the Brothers Brooks.
Now, Brent, you don't have this. I didn't tell you I was going to get it, but I was on Amazon. You have to order this shit from Amazon if you live here at least. And was on Amazon, and they kept suggesting this other flavor. I'm like, I'm searching for ketchup chips, and why does this other one keep coming up? And then I researched a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is another Canadian flavor. It's a Canadian flavor of Ruffles called All Dressed. And I had never heard of them, much less had them.
I prefer my Canadians not all dressed, but that's just the way that I live my life.
I understand. So on the front of these, there's a picture of a bell pepper, a picture of an onion, and a picture of a little shaker of vinegar.
Man, you throw a boot on there and you got a hobo chili. It's too bad.
That's good eating. What was that from? Was that
Dave Attell? You got boot and onion. I'll make some hobo chili.
No, that's good eating. It's a bad quote on the Arrested Development, wasn't it? What was his
Didn't
name?
watch
Was
it.
Oh well, never mind. There was an actor on there. There's a recurring joke where it's like, you're not gonna throw those bones away, are you? You put that in some water, make some soup. That's good eating. I might be completely making that up. I know the character does that. I don't know if that's good eating came from there or not. Came from somewhere. Doesn't matter. These are called all dressed, and I'm gonna try them. So they
I feel like we're both
regular...
like the crowd. Everyone's just hearing us do this the whole time as we're eating.
It's true, especially with chips.
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're the color of, I don't know. They're kind of orangish. They almost look like sour cream cheddar, but there's no cheese. I don't think. I'm gonna try them. Oh, Brent, we have a new sponsor as part of Hysteria Nation this week. We are welcoming into the fold Keeps, and I got to tell you,
They get the bell.
if you don't know what Keeps is, it's a company for hair loss, and we'll get into more of that in a minute. But I got to tell you, this is one I was excited about. I was actually hoping they would sponsor us because I am ashamed to admit it, although I shouldn't be because I'm just an adult and a male adult, and it happens to us all. I'm starting to lose my hair. Not stoked about it.
You don't have a luxurious thick coif like I do, John. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, my mane is more of a muh now. But I'd like to keep what I have, so I'm excited about our new sponsor, Keeps.
2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35, and more than 50 million men in the U.S. suffer from male pattern baldness, so there's no reason to feel ashamed of it. And my hair is even starting to recede some. I don't have a ton yet, but it's already started, and so I'm feeling it. I skipped over the 35. I made it into my 40s, so cha-ching.
Yeah. I noticed mine about probably 18 months ago from the beginning, and I'm 40 today, so I made it past 35, but here we are.
There's only 2 FDA-approved medications that can help prevent hair loss, and one of the reasons we like Keeps is they offer both, and that's a big thing.
Also, they make it really easy. One of the things that you and I have in common is that we are really, really flipping busy. And ordering online, you need to obviously consult with a doctor. They make it so simple. It's stress-free. You have a virtual doctor consultation, and the medication is then delivered straight to your door. You don't have to leave your home.
Yeah, it's super low cost. Treatments start at just $10 a month and go on up from there. They offer generic versions. If you are worried, you don't want people to know, they ship in discreet packaging, and they have more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors, much like Hysteria 51. Claimed by Hysteria 51 may or may not be true.
Hey guys, why is there small print on your commercial? Well, the good news is it wasn't about the sponsor.
The big thing with hair loss, though, is prevention is key. Treatment can take 4 to 6 months, so start fast and keep what you have. Don't keep losing. If you're ready to take these actions and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/hysteria to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's KEEPS.com/hysteria to get your first month free. Keeps.com/hysteria.
Wow, that's really good.
Really? I didn't figure it would be for some reason. A lot of times when there's just like everything in the kitchen sink thrown on something, you're like, it's kind of just muddied.
Oh, wow, that's really good. So here's what it is. There's a ketchupiness to it. I think it's just that vinegar flavor that's coming through. There's an underlying sweetness that isn't bad as opposed to those Lay's ketchup chips. And it's slight. There's an oniony, garlicky thing going, but it's you know what? You know how when you taste ranch, you go, I don't know what that is, but it's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know there's garlic and herbs. I don't know which herbs. I know there's probably some onion in there, but I don't know. Like, I just know that ranch tastes good. This doesn't taste like ranch, but it's very similar in that I know that there's garlic and herbs. Yeah. And some vinegar and some other good stuff, and I don't know exactly what
It's just like a loaded baked potato or something, like all the shit.
Yeah. There is. I know you're not saying this, but just because I mentioned that they look yellow, there is no cheese. I don't believe, or it certainly doesn't taste like there is. It's just really good. Man, these are killer. I would like, if I was just looking for chips for a party or something, I would definitely buy these.
Now, is this something that you would like throw next to a sandwich and eat, or is this just like grab a handful as you're hungry kind of thing?
Oh, both, I think.
Oh,
both.
nice.
Nice. Kind of like a barbecue chip, you could do by itself or with something.
I am not a huge fan of flavored chips. I like salt and vinegar. I will say this, I like jalapeno chips, and I like the there's something else in jalapeno that I'm blanking on that I really like. Well, and then like salt and vinegar, but I don't really love ranch, and I don't love sour cream and onion or barbecue. I hate barbecue chips.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like most people go, "Oh my gosh," and I don't mind barbecue. I'm not a barbecue chip fan, so I'm picky when it comes by. I will eat ketchup chips, and so yeah, I'd be interested in trying these. That's I need to put it on my radar.
If you don't like barbecue, it must be the fake smoke flavor, because the ketchup chips are virtually identical to barbecue minus the fake smoke, right?
I mean, yeah, maybe a little more vinegary,
tomatoey.
though. See, my thing that I don't love is sweet.
Got it.
You always, if something's supposed to be sweet, great, but I don't want like candied meats and things like that, and I don't want sweet barbecue. I want like spicy. I like barbecue that's mixed with hot sauce kind of barbecue,
right,
and a vinegary base, stuff like that. Vinegar.
I get that makes perfect sense. I'm with you. I'm much more of a vinegar than I am a sweet. But for the record, I just had another Old Dutch. Those just are really good quality chips.
And they got a good crunch to them.
If you're gonna order some Canadian chips and you're here in the States and you're gonna do it on Amazon, I have a piece of advice for you that I only learned when ordering these chips. If in the description they make a very, very big deal out of the fact that they double bubble wrap them and they will not get crushed at all, those are the companies you have to look out for getting a bag of crushed chips from. Because these Lays came from a company, it was a reseller or whatever, came from a company that, there was like 3 sentences, exclamation points, bold.
Brought to you by Whoops out of Idaho.
Exactly, and it just said it won't be. It showed up and it was like they
flatten them out and then roll them in bubble wrap. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
I am securing this as tight as it'll possibly go.
Right. I don't hear nothing rolled around in there.
So let me ask you this: these are not cheap, right? For us to order them, it's if you go to the local grocery and you pick up a bag of chips, it's $3 or whatever. You order a bag of these on Amazon, I think it's $11, $12. So my question is, are they good enough that you would order them just to keep around the house if you were in a chip
for me
mood?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And it's which is weird because we could remember when we did the marathon bars, we get those for like under $1 a bar at my door.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a weird uptick on these because they're popular, I think.
I think you're right.
And, you go to Canada and you go to the chip department, there's 30 different kinds of ketchup chips that everyone's making, just like here with insert whatever flavor is popular of the month. So
I also bet that if we had spent a day of calling around places, searching online, etc., that we could have found stores in the Chicagoland area that import these.
Oh, World Market might have had them. The problem is, stuff like that, it's far away. Everything's so far away. People don't understand. We only live a few miles away from each other. It's an hour plus usually to get to one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that blows my mind. It took me a long time when I got up here to realize how long things take. And couldn't you walk it faster? No, you can't.
That has been one of the albeit a very slim silver linings to the pandemic. It takes a lot less time to get around Chicago.
Holy shit, yeah, my wife, I got to get the ladies out way earlier when she's coming home from work, She's just cruising on home.
And by the ladies, you mean pulling your feet. You call your feet the ladies and pulling them out of the bath?
Yeah, no, I'm not supposed to use that bath. It's hers. Fuck you, bitch.
I got you good.
Why are there footprints in there? The dog did it. I swear to God, baby, don't hit me. Don't hit me. Oh my God. So last week I was in the office and I bent over and I hit my head on my printer and I cut myself, like literally bleeding, cut myself. And we had to go out and run errands, and we saw a couple people out were doing that, and people like, are you smart off to Lisa again? I'm like, man, baby, everyone just knows you're violent.
I will say that joke about Lisa beating you up is made an abnormal amount by
joke, cry for help. One of I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was leading to. I was like, is there, Brent? Your monk friends here. Is there something that you need to share with the group?
There's one of the disparities between the genders. Why is it when they see me, they go, is Lisa beating you up? Whereas if she had a gash on her head, they'd pull her aside and go, do you need to talk to somebody? Is anything happening that you need to talk about? Like, yeah, I'm, I don't know, insert whatever. So,
well, it's I mean, it is a bit of a reaction to I don't know, the last 500 years or maybe 5,000 years of history, where we traditionally, if you go by the numbers, a lot more dudes beat up a lot more
well,
chicks
I mean, as a straight white male, I'm not really happy with what's happening in the world. These changes, come on now, rumph.
Evolution.
You know what else I don't like?
What's evolution?
That rapist Pepe Le Pew. Dave Chappelle was throwing him out the window fucking 20 years ago. Sometimes you gotta take the pussy like Pepe. Oh, ketchup chips. Oh, so anyway.
Well, it's the thing is, that's why you can't make assumptions. Just because over thousands of years, a lot more women have been beat up by men, you can't make assumptions, because in this case, Lisa actually probably is beating you up.
Well, allegedly. My lawyer says I'm not supposed to talk about it. So.
That's what I say. What photos does she have of you, man?
What photos?
We are off the rails
have on me. Yeah, hey, come for the ketchup chips, stay for the social commentary. That's what.
Yeah.
Here on Cafeteria 51. So yeah, kids, this is 2 weeks in a row. Well, actually, a lot more than that. Another thumbs up.
So Nation, here's a question for you. What? This is our world tour. There's a lot of countries in this world. There's a lot of areas. It doesn't even need to be a country.
We'll start going through them. USA, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Brazil, Peru. No, I'm sorry.
Your ability to do that has always amazed me. I just could never. By the way, did you see? Have you watched they brought Animaniacs back?
Yet.
They did a new one. I'll leave it to you. It's good. It's good.
Nice.
It's not the same thing,
right.
but like there's so many homages to the stuff they did before, and it's like self-referential humor, but also realizing that it's 20 years later. It's really funny
nice.
and well done. Anyway, the point was, Nation, whether it's another country or just a part of the earth, or something from your state, whatever it is, on our world tour, if you think it'd be a good food for us to check out, let us know on Hysteria Nation.
And you said something recently that's really good. I think it was even on the regular show. Let us know where to get it if possible. Now that you don't have to if you don't know, but if you do or you get it, let us know where that's at.
Yeah, because not only is it just good for sourcing, but also maybe the version that you get's better than the one that we wind up digging up.
Absolutely. Look at
can you imagine if we were doing
if
we were doing ketchup chips and we both wound up with Lay's, we would never know the joys of Old Dutch.
My favorite character in Predator, Old Dutch.
Well, did you know that this brand was originally referred to as Old Dutch Oven, but they just kind of thought that was shitty.
Shitty. Speaking of, literally, I'm talking to
Brent.
Lisa yesterday on the phone. I go, fuck, I gotta let you go. So when I'm like, I think one of the dogs shit in the house. She's like, what? But yeah, literally, Gordon farted so bad, I was searching for shit for 5 minutes. Until he's next to me.
You're peeling.
He's following me around like, what are we doing, Dad? And I'm looking at him and he goes, I'm like, oh, dude. It was so gross. Ketchup chips. Yep. So, dog shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
do you have any final thoughts on? So, also, if you're from Canada and we picked the wrong food from your, I mean, ketchup chips are a pretty narrow alley to go down.
Spoiler: we're
going to
do poutine here sooner than later. That was just, this was less prep.
Am I going to order my poutine or do I have to make it?
I mean, where are you going to order poutine that you're going to have fries and shit that aren't just from a restaurant? Yeah, that's fine. Who cares?
Yeah, I'd probably ask them to pack it up separately, wouldn't you? And kind of like prepare or like heat it up at home?
I would think so, or just, I mean, it's not that much. You can make it at home too. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I know. Here's my problem. I have a confession time. My problem is that when I decide I want to cook something, I don't like cheating. I'm not trying to make myself sound cool, because most of the time this causes me to spend a lot more money and a lot more time in the kitchen when I should be doing other things and could be doing other things. But if I'm going to make soup, I want to make the broth that is the base of the soup from bones, like if I'm
calm down, Jeffrey.
Yeah, right. Anything I do, I kind of want to. I did French onion soup last week, and I did it from scratch. And it's not like I used to be proud of it, and I'm not proud of it anymore because it winds up taking up so much time. And it's like, oh, how did I just spend $200 at the grocery store to make a pot of soup?
Well, that's how God works. All he wanted was a Pepsi, but you gotta start with light, and then he's like you.
Is that a bit?
Well, remember the song from was it Suicidal Tendencies? All I wanted was a Pepsi. All I wanted was a Pepsi, and I don't know, you just made me think of that.
I don't remember.
That's a song.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah. What's that?
I said I don't remember that. It's amazing, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of what the fuck is the name of that song? Institutionalized. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, it's their song, and it's just like, no, Mom, I'm not on drugs. All I want is a Pepsi. It's great. It's a Mom, just give me a Pepsi, please. All I want is a Pepsi. And she wouldn't give it to me. So
now I'm going to go listen to it, but I'm not going to do it until my wife and kid come home and we can all do it together.
That's a family builder right there. So
Alexa, play Suicidal Tendencies.
So kids, go out, get you some chips, try them out, they're worth it, and let us know what's next.
Listen. Can you hear it?
Is it start? I barely hear it. Are you playing?
My Alexa actually started playing Suicidal
Oh my God,
Tendencies.
that's hilarious.
Alexa, stop. We got to leave that in. Leave it in.
It's loud, Alexa.
Thanks for ruining the podcast. We were doing a fine job of that on our own.
Yeah, all right, kids. So, yeah, give it a shot. Give us a chance at whatever you like, and send links to it if you will. You can do that however you like, but the easiest is probably just Hysteria Nation. Post it in there and start a chat. Maybe people will have other ideas on it. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And otherwise, we will see you next time on Cafeteria 51.
It was terrible. It was just terrible. I'll never get over it as long as I live.
That's it for another edition of Hysteria 51. John and Brent will be back next week with yet more of the unexplained, the unexplored, and the unheard of. Oh, if it's unheard of, how will they know about it? Anyway, if you want to suggest a topic, give us your thoughts, or just make fun of Conspiracy Bot, that's my favourite. Join us in our Facebook discussion group, Hysteria Nation. Just log on to Facebook and search Hysteria Nation, or you can always tweet us at Hysteria51pod.
You've been listening to a Fourth Hand Joint.